If you're over 60, you likely take care with what you eat, choosing foods you believe are good for you, like salads, low-fat snacks, granola, or fruit juices. But did you know that some of these healthy choices might increase your risk of a stroke? It may sound surprising, but it's true. Stroke is a serious health concern for older adults, often striking without warning and potentially causing disability or worse. The problem is, certain foods can cause inflammation or harm your blood vessels, raising your stroke risk without you noticing. As we age, our digestion slows and our arteries change, making us more sensitive to these risks. In this video, we'll share the top 10 foods that seem harmless but could quietly increase your chances of a stroke. Please watch until the end, as the number one food is something many older adults eat daily without realizing its risks. Let's begin the countdown. 10. Bran muffins. For many older adults, reaching for a bran muffin in the morning feels like a smart, health-conscious decision. After all, fiber is essential for digestion, and bran has long been praised for its heart benefits. But here's the surprising truth. Most bran muffins you'll find at the store or bakery are far from healthy. In fact, they might be doing the exact opposite of what you intended. These muffins are often packed with added sugar, refined white flour, and processed oils, all ingredients that spike blood sugar rapidly and trigger a cascade of inflammation throughout the body. What follows is a sudden crash, forcing your blood vessels to work overtime, increasing strain on your heart and raising your risk of clot formation. For someone over 60 whose arteries may already be less flexible and more fragile, this daily sugar jolt becomes a silent danger. And there's more. Store-bought muffins are rarely modest in size. One can easily contain more than 400 calories and a day's worth of carbs without you even realizing it. Yes, bran is beneficial, but when it's buried under mountains of sugar and refined starch, it loses its protective power and becomes a wolf in sheep's clothing. If you enjoy muffins, don't give them up. Just take control. Try baking your own at home with oat or almond flour, using natural sweetness from mashed bananas or unsweetened applesauce. Add nuts, seeds, or a dash of cinnamon for flavor without the blood sugar spike. Always read the label, especially if you're choosing something that claims to be high fiber or heart healthy. Not every food that sounds healthy is actually stroke friendly. Your brain and heart deserve better than a breakfast that sets them up for stress. Make your mornings a true investment in long-term health, because what feels comforting shouldn't come at the cost of your circulation, memory, or peace of mind. 9. Flavored yogurt. It's often advertised as a perfect snack. Flavored yogurt, packed with calcium, easy on the stomach, and marketed as gut healthy, it seems ideal for seniors who want to support their bones and digestion. But here's the hidden danger. Most fruit-flavored and low-fat yogurts are loaded with added sugars, often more than a donut. That's not an exaggeration. A single small container can carry 20 to 30 grams of sugar. For an aging body, that's not just empty calories, it's a metabolic ambush. Excess sugar raises triglyceride levels and blood pressure, both of which silently erode the health of your blood vessels. Over time, this damage adds up, narrowing arteries, stiffening vessel walls, and quietly setting the stage for a stroke. And the worst offenders? Low-fat yogurts. When manufacturers take out the fat, they often replace it with even more sugar and artificial additives to keep the flavor appealing. For seniors whose metabolism slows with age, these sugars are harder to process. The result? Insulin resistance, inflammation, and a higher risk of brain and heart complications. Even worse, many of these yogurts contain artificial sweeteners and preservatives that can trigger inflammation in sensitive individuals, especially those already dealing with joint pain, memory issues, or autoimmune concerns. But there's good news. You don't have to give up yogurt altogether. Plain Greek yogurt with less than 5 grams of sugar per serving offers protein, probiotics, and calcium without the hidden danger. Add your own fresh berries, sliced banana, or a handful of walnuts for flavor and extra nutrients. It's not just about getting your calcium. It's about avoiding the silent blood sugar spikes that strain your brain, weaken your arteries, and rob you of long-term health. So next time you reach for that healthy yogurt, pause, read the label, and ask yourself, is this helping my body heal or silently pushing it toward danger? Because every bite either builds resilience or chips away at it. 8. Granola. It's golden, crunchy, and often labeled as a healthy breakfast or snack. For many seniors, granola feels like a smart choice, packed with oats, nuts, and a hint of sweetness. But here's the hidden truth. Most store-bought granola is less healthy food and more a sugar-loaded dessert in disguise. What makes it so dangerous? The answer lies in its ingredients and preparation. Most commercial granolas are toasted in processed oils at high temperatures and held together with honey, molasses, or syrup. That means each bite is dense in calories, sugar, and unhealthy fats. A small serving, just half a cup, can contain up to 400 calories and 20 grams of sugar. And let's be honest, most people pour more than that into their bowls without realizing. This combination is especially harmful for seniors. With age, blood vessels become less flexible and sugar spikes hit harder. Excess sugar and fat can cause blood to thicken, blood pressure to rise, and inflammation to quietly build in the brain. These are all key risk factors for stroke, and granola may be one of the silent contributors. Even so-called organic or natural brands aren't always safe. They often hide sugar under names like cane juice, agave nectar, or rice syrup. If you're not reading the label closely, you could be unknowingly feeding your body fuel that inflames rather than heals. But there's a better way. If you love granola's crunch, make your own at home using unsweetened oats, raw nuts, and a touch of cinnamon or vanilla. Use a small drizzle of maple syrup or mashed banana for natural sweetness, and above all, watch your portion size. A couple of spoonfuls go a long way. Granola may wear a healthy disguise, but behind that golden glow could be a daily habit that slowly harms your heart and brain. Choose smart. Read labels. And remember, the foods that feel familiar aren't always the ones that protect you. 7. Fruit juice. It sounds wholesome, doesn't it? A glass of orange juice to start the day? It's fruit, after all. How bad could it be? But here's the surprising truth. For adults over 60, that innocent-looking glass of juice could quietly be setting the stage for stroke risk. Why? Because most commercial fruit juices are stripped of fiber and loaded with concentrated sugars. Even a small glass of store-bought orange juice can contain over 25 grams of sugar. That's the equivalent of 6 teaspoons. When consumed on an empty stomach, that sugar rushes into your bloodstream like a tidal wave, causing blood sugar spikes, insulin surges, and over time, inflammation in your arteries. And here's where it becomes even more dangerous. As we age, our metabolism slows and our sensitivity to sugar increases. This means seniors process these sugar floods less efficiently, making the blood vessels more vulnerable to damage, plaque buildup, and clot formation, all leading contributors to stroke. Let's not forget what's missing: fiber. When you eat a whole fruit, the fiber acts as a buffer, slowing down sugar absorption and protecting your blood vessels. Juice removes that natural defense. Even worse, many juices labeled as 100% natural are pasteurized, overprocessed, and sometimes contain added sugars or concentrates. So what can you do? If you crave something fruity, choose whole fruits like berries, apples, or oranges. If you must drink juice, dilute it with water. 1 part juice to 3 parts water, and limit it to small amounts. Better yet, make a fiber-rich smoothie with real fruit, greens, and a spoonful of chia seeds. It's not fruit that's the problem, it's the concentration and convenience that silently harm. Don't let the sweet taste fool you. That morning glass of juice could be aging your arteries faster than you think. Choose the peel, choose the fiber, choose protection. 6. Low-sodium soups. Many seniors switch to low-sodium soups, thinking they're making a heart-healthy choice. But here's the catch. Most canned or packaged low-sodium soups are still processed and filled with preservatives, artificial flavors, and hidden sugars. Some even replace salt with potassium chloride, which can be dangerous for people with kidney issues or those on medications for blood pressure or heart conditions. Plus, low sodium doesn't mean low salt. It simply means less than the original, which could still be very high. The real danger comes when these soups are consumed regularly, leading to fluid retention, rising blood pressure, and added strain on aging arteries. Over time, this increases stroke risk, especially if the soup is paired with salty crackers or bread. Also, the lack of fresh ingredients means these soups provide little real nutrition. Seniors need meals rich in natural potassium, magnesium, and fiber, not overly processed liquids in a can. If you enjoy soup, make it at home with fresh vegetables, lean proteins, and herbs instead of salt. Don't be fooled by the packaging. Low-sodium soup might seem like a good idea, but it's another silent risk that could harm your brain health if not consumed carefully. 5. Energy bars. Energy bars are often marketed as nutritious snacks, perfect for a quick bite between meals. But many of them are nothing more than candy bars in disguise. They contain a mix of refined sugars, syrups, processed protein powders, and artificial flavors. For seniors, eating these regularly can be dangerous. These bars often trigger a spike in blood sugar, followed by a crash, which leads to inflammation and strain on blood vessels. The high sugar content thickens the blood and increases clotting risk, which is directly linked to stroke. Many bars also contain cheap oils and additives that can raise bad cholesterol and cause oxidative stress. Seniors with slow digestion and reduced insulin sensitivity are especially at risk when these bars are consumed daily. Even bars labeled high protein or organic can contain up to 20 grams of sugar. It's important to read labels carefully. If you need a snack, opt for a boiled egg, a handful of nuts, or fresh fruit instead. Energy bars may give you a boost, but they may also push your body toward inflammation and blood clots. 4. Dried fruits. They seem so innocent, don't they? A small handful of raisins, a few chewy apricots, or sweet dates after lunch. Many seniors turn to dried fruits thinking they're making a heart-smart, brain-healthy choice. But behind their wholesome reputation lies a hidden danger: concentrated sugar that could silently increase your risk of stroke. Here's why. During the drying process, fruits lose their natural water content, but their sugar remains and becomes highly concentrated. A single serving of dried fruit can contain as much sugar as a chocolate bar, and often without the balancing fiber that slows absorption. Worse yet, some commercial brands add even more sugar or syrup to enhance flavor, turning these healthy snacks into sugar bombs in disguise. For seniors, this matters deeply. With slower metabolism and more fragile blood vessels, your body is less equipped to handle these glucose surges. Rapid sugar absorption leads to insulin spikes, blood pressure elevation, and eventually inflammation, a perfect storm for clot formation and vascular damage. These silent changes, repeated day after day, pave the way for cognitive decline, memory lapses, and the increased risk of stroke. And yet, many older adults snack on dried fruits daily, believing they're supporting their health. It's a well-meaning mistake, but one that deserves a course correction. So what's the better alternative? Whole fruits. Fresh apples, oranges, or berries not only deliver natural sweetness, but also hydration, fiber, and antioxidants that protect your brain and heart. They digest more slowly, keeping your blood sugar stable and your vessels resilient. If you love dried fruit, enjoy it in small amounts and choose unsweetened varieties. But don't be fooled by the label natural. When it comes to stroke prevention, nature in its original form, water-rich, fiber-filled whole fruit, is your greatest ally. Make the switch today, your future self will thank you. 3. Multigrain bread. Multigrain bread sounds healthy. After all, multi means variety, and grains mean fiber, right? Not always. Most multigrain breads at the store are made from refined grains, with just a sprinkle of whole grains added for marketing. This means you're getting white bread dressed up as something healthier. These breads can spike your blood sugar and insulin levels, just like regular white bread. Over time, this increases inflammation and damages blood vessels, raising stroke risk. Also, many brands add sugar, high fructose corn syrup, or preservatives to extend shelf life and taste. Seniors who are trying to lower cholesterol or manage blood pressure should be especially cautious. Just because the label says multigrain or wheat doesn't mean it's good for your brain or heart. Always check if it says 100% whole grain, and look at the fiber and sugar content. If you enjoy bread, opt for sprouted grain or rye breads with real fiber and no added sugar. Don't let clever marketing fool you. Multigrain bread could be another hidden stroke risk that's sitting right in your pantry. 2. Veggie chips. Veggie chips are one of the sneakiest processed foods. They're often sold as a healthy alternative to potato chips, especially appealing to seniors trying to eat more vegetables. But the truth is, these chips are heavily processed, fried or baked in oil, and usually contain the same amount of salt and fat as regular chips. They're made from powdered or dried vegetables, losing most of the original nutrition in the process. The result? A crunchy snack that's high in calories, salt, and sometimes sugar, none of which are good for stroke prevention. Seniors who snack on veggie chips regularly may unknowingly raise their blood pressure and cholesterol levels, both major stroke risk factors. The worst part is that veggie chips are often eaten in large quantities, thinking they're harmless, but just like regular chips, they can increase inflammation and promote plaque buildup in the arteries. If you want a snack, choose real vegetables like cucumber slices or carrot sticks with hummus, or make your own veggie chips at home using an air fryer and no added salt. Don't let the word veggie give you a false sense of safety. It's the processing that does the damage. 1. Instant oatmeal packets. Instant oatmeal is one of the most common breakfast choices among seniors. It's warm, easy to digest, and quick to prepare. But most instant oatmeal packets are filled with added sugars, artificial flavors, and low-quality oats. These sugars can spike your blood glucose first thing in the morning when your body is most vulnerable to inflammation. This kind of breakfast starts your day with a sugar hit that puts pressure on your blood vessels and sets off a chain reaction in your circulatory system. Some packets also contain preservatives and flavor enhancers that increase oxidative stress. For seniors, this means higher stroke risk, especially if you eat these packets daily. Even the low-sugar or heart-healthy versions can contain hidden additives. A better option is plain rolled oats or steel-cut oats, cooked fresh with cinnamon and topped with berries or flax seeds. You control the sweetness and nutrients. Don't let the convenience of instant packets fool you. This popular breakfast could be the biggest hidden threat to your brain and heart health if you're over 60. Your brain health after 60 depends on what's on your plate. The foods we discussed today might look healthy. They can quietly inflame your arteries, raise your blood pressure, and increase clot risk. That's exactly how strokes happen, with no symptoms until it's too late. Seniors are more vulnerable because of slower metabolism, weaker vessels, and higher sensitivity to salt and sugar. But knowledge is power. Now that you know which foods are risky, take charge. Replace these dangerous options with real, whole foods that heal instead of harm. If this video helped you, please like it, share it with others over 60, and comment below with the food you were most surprised by. Your feedback can help others. You're not just eating to survive, you're eating to protect your future. Thank you for watching and stay safe.